We're on it. The biggest team, the biggest coverage. This is Fox 31 News at 9:30.
9:30 on your Tuesday morning. A lot to get to this morning. I'm Ashley Ryan.
Hey guys, Kirk Yankee here, and we are watching a sunny morning, although we do have a chance of rain coming later this afternoon. Quickly though, we do want to jump into breaking news first, and we've got multiple perspectives here. Our crew on the ground there on the left-hand side of this nasty accident, guys. This is westbound 88th, where apparently a vehicle traveling westbound veered into oncoming traffic, is what police there in Commerce City are telling us, hitting a minivan. We know 2 people were inside the minivan.
Yeah. So they ended up in a creek. We know the 4 people in the vehicle that they're saying is at fault here were 4 juveniles. So 4 people under the age of 18, and unfortunately they were all ejected. We know at least one of them is in critical condition, and all 6 people involved in this crash between the 2 vehicles were taken to local hospitals. So this could be definitely a scene for quite some time this morning. You can see pieces of that minivan there on the road and the other car involved down the ditch there in that embankment.
Yeah, so we've got our crews there. As we said, we've got 2 perspectives there with Skyfox hovering overhead, and Fox 31 reporter Courtney Fromm is on her way there right now to get some more information. So we'll be touching base with her when she arrives. We'll have updates for you as we get it here on Fox.
All right, let's get over to Greg in for Kylie this morning. Finally at 32 degrees.
Finally, all right. We finally made it to the freezing mark. Yesterday at this time, we were more in the upper 30s and lower 40s already. Today, it's just going to be a bit chillier, highs only in the upper 40s, nearing 50 degrees, right around where we should be for this time of the year. But that sunshine, yeah, it's shining out there. It'll warm things up pretty nicely as we head into the afternoon hours, but make sure to keep a light jacket with you on your way out the door. Light snowfall out across the western slope and into the high country. Meanwhile, Denver, clear skies dominating the area for us, and for southeastern Colorado, maybe a few clouds too. But today, while it is going to be sunny, it might feel a little chillier. It's going to be breezy too, so anywhere between 15 to 20 miles per hour in downtown. Parker around 10 miles per hour as you're pushing along the I-70 corridor near Vail Pass in Georgetown, 15 to 30 miles per hour, and those are sustained winds. Temperatures, again, as Ashley was talking about, in the lower 30s, right around freezing in Denver, and we'll make our way into the upper 40s and lower 50s, all as we prepare for big changes on the way. That happens Thursday night into Friday morning. More on that coming up in just a few minutes, guys.
All right, thank you, Greg.
Well, developing this morning, police and U.S. postal inspectors searching for suspects who apparently robbed 2 postal workers on the job at gunpoint.
Both of these cases happening in Denver's Montbello neighborhood, just minutes apart from one another. Jim Hooley joins us live from Montbello with more this morning. What we know, there's actually video of this happening, right, Jim?
Yeah, they have video from a security camera that was near the location where at least one of the postal workers was robbed. I mean, who would think of this? Robbing postal workers? These poor people are just out here doing their job. But today they're looking for 3 to 4 suspects. And again, take a look at this video. You may be able to help out. It was about 5 o'clock yesterday afternoon when all this happened. In the video, you can see there's a white Hyundai Sonata that pulls into a parking lot, and then it begins to slowly turn around in the lot. Just a couple seconds later, 2 suspects appear from the right side of your screen. We don't know where they're coming from, but they hightail it across the parking lot. They run right across. They jump in the car, and everybody takes off. Investigators say the first postal worker was robbed on Bowling Drive up here in Montbello. Then, literally a couple of minutes after that, Eureka Drive was the location for the second robbery. The Postal Service is not saying what was stolen. They don't do that for security reasons. But the Postal Service says right now it's working to find out exactly who did this. Fortunately, and this is the good news in all this, the 2 postal workers were not injured in any way, shape, or form, at least physically. But if you have any information whatsoever, you know that car, if you recognize anybody talking about something like this around in your neighborhood, contact Denver Police or postal inspectors here with the U.S. Postal Service. Live in Montbello this morning, I'm Jim Hooley, Fox 31.
All right, Jim, thank you.
Developing right now, an arrest in the vandalism case of the Martin Luther King Jr. monument in City Park. So Denver police saying one of the suspects, Robert Duran, turned himself in, accused of assisting with damaging one of the stolen metal pieces. He's being held in jail right now for investigation of criminal mischief. Police still searching for the other suspect involved in stealing the bronze pieces, trying to sell them for scrap. His name is Herman Duran. We've got a picture of him on our website. If you know where he might be, reach out to our partners at the Metro Denver Crime Stoppers. Happening now, National Consumer Protection Week is underway. Attorney General Phil Weiser sharing the list of the top 5 complaints that were reported last year.
Well, let's get right to Courtney Fromm breaking it down for us this morning.
Well, the Attorney General's office says they're disappointed with some local businesses that are cutting corners and putting unfair burdens on consumers here in Colorado. And the other issue is when it all comes to AI and scammers using your voice and your name and stuff to get money out of other people's pockets. Now, in 2023, Colorado consumers filed over 20,000 complaints. That's the first time the AG's office has seen over 20,000 ever, and that number up 14% from 2022. Now, some of the top complaints were in retail sales, professional services, automobile sales, home service, and imposter scams. That's people posing as other businesses. Now, to the date, the AG's office has secured over $400 million in refunds from Coloradans who are possibly taken advantage of.
You have rights in Colorado under the Towing Bill of Rights. We want to make sure those rights are honored. Also, we're now suing Meta in federal court for harming young people. This is an area of great concern to us. Previously, we did sue Juul. We received $32 million around that we're going to be investing in youth mental health. This is a top priority for us in the years going forward. That gives you a good glimpse of what we've been doing.
Now, to report an issue, consumers can do so via fraudcolorado.gov, or you can call 800-222-4444. The AG's office asks if you have any issues, you need a complaint, or you want to file a scam to do so they can crack down on all of these. For now in Denver, Courtney Fromm, Fox 31.
All right, thank you, Courtney.
Well, happening today, of course, it is Super Tuesday. County clerks across the state already processing ballots. You have until 7 o'clock tonight to turn in your ballot. You can no longer mail it in. So be sure to check with your county to drop it off at the closest mailbox or mail drop box near you, or make sure you're in line by 7.
New video. Listen to that. Explosions in Michigan. Outside of Detroit, a massive fire erupting at this factory, causing those explosions overnight. Local crews say the explosions are likely linked to CO2 or propane, adding that there could be potentially dangerous air quality in the area. They actually evacuated an entire town there overnight, about midnight our time. The cause of the fire is still being investigated as crews are waking up to a lot of damage this morning. New at 9:30, Jeff Bezos reclaiming the title of the richest person on Earth, according to the Bloomberg Billionaires Index.
Yeah, the Amazon founder's net worth, $200 billion, dethroning Elon Musk for the title again. Musk coming in at number 2, tight race here at $198 billion. Bernard Arnault, a French businessman who owns Louis Vuitton, coming in at number 3. Mark Zuckerberg with Meta, number 4. Bill Gates rounding out the top 5.
Say what you will. He started the company in a garage.
Yeah. Well, and think about it. We wouldn't have social media the way we have it if it weren't for Zuckerberg. And then we all use Amazon every day, it seems like.
Right, right, exactly.
Real important people.
9:38, let's check your tech news. If you use a Google Pixel phone, as many of us do, some updates are coming your way. There are a bunch of changes coming in the March update for Pixel phone owners. I think the coolest is next generation phone screening. So Pixel owners already have a way to screen calls before you answer them, but this adds a new hello button. Google Assistant will basically talk to the caller for you, asking why they're calling. You can hear the response and then decide to pick up anytime you want to join the call or end the call whenever you want.
That's kind of cool.
Totally.
Because I do want to know who's calling sometimes, but I don't want to call the number back.
If you don't know the number, it's a way of kind of making sure you weed out the telemarketers. The feature is going to be available on the Pixel 6, 7, and the new one, the 8. Yeah, I'm sure this has happened to you. We have a big outage with Instagram and Facebook going on this morning, by the way. But in the meantime, you hit send on a private message on Instagram, and seconds later you realize, oh my gosh, I totally had a typo or said the wrong thing or didn't want to send that message at all to that person. Well, now you can edit a message. 10 years, about 11 years after Instagram added direct messaging, simply press and hold the message. A drop-down will appear, select edit, and then you can make those changes. So what's the catch? Well, the only catch is that you've only got a 15-minute window from when you hit send to be able to edit that message. Afterwards, it's locked in. So keep an eye out for that update. It's coming soon to the Instagram app on iPhone and Android. I can tell you when my Instagram was working this morning, a couple hours ago, I checked it, and I already had the feature in my Instagram app, so you may have it as well. And right now, by the way, there's a big outage going on, all the Meta properties, so Facebook and Instagram. It seems like my feed is working, but I can't send private messages on Instagram at this point, so it's kind of spotty. So if you deal with issues in those apps, that's why, guys. A lot of people dealing with that across the country.
And we're all going to survive.
And we're going to be okay.
It's going to be fine. Coming up in New this hour, we are live from the TMZ newsroom. We're checking in with Michael Babcock on this Tuesday morning, breaking down the big Broncos news. Of course, Russell Wilson out. what he thinks might happen moving forward.
And we are on it, guys. Back to breaking news. Pretty nasty crash, 88th Avenue in Commerce City. We've got our crews on the ground there on the left. We've got Sky Fox hovering over the scene. One of the cars that apparently slammed into this minivan ended up in some sort of little lake or pond there. We've got 6 people sent to the hospital. We're on it. Courtney Fromm should be there in moments, and we'll check in with her live when she arrives. Coming up.